Welcome to Electron-ITs. This is a new series on algorithmic trading. In this series, I am going to talk about how to draw different charts using Python programming. For this, I am using PyCharm as a tool, and in PyCharm, we are going to develop Python codes and we are going to write the Python programs to draw different charts related to stock analysis. So, in this session, in this first session, I am going to discuss about how to draw candlestick chart using Python. Okay, so before going to writing the code, I will give you a brief introduction about the candlestick chart. So first of all, when we are talking about candlestick chart, we have to consider two types of things. The first is the increasing type of chart. So if you are considering the increasing nature, so in that you have to consider the two values. So there are four parameters: high and low, and open and close. So when you're starting from low price, you're opening at the low price and you're closing at the high price, then this is your increasing type of candle. So usually this increasing type of candle is given by a green color. So green color, when you are getting the green color candle, that means it is increasing in nature. So you are starting from the low price and you are ending at the high price. So opening at low price, closing at high price. So this is a green color type of candle you are getting. And in second case, you will get a red color candle. So here you are opening at the high price, you are opening at the high price, but you are closing at low price. You are closing at low price. So this is a red type of candle. So generally in stock language, in stock analysis language, this is a bearish type of candle and this is a bullish type of candle in green color. So we need to analyze both these type of candles using candlestick chart, and we can draw this chart using Python programming. So let us start writing the program for drawing this chart. I hope you got some idea about this, of how we are going to uh, draw this chart, means what is the meaning of, like, the meaning of these charts. So there are two types of charts we are going to observe. Actually it is a one type only, but in that one type there are two uh, different color sticks you are going to get. So this is called as a stick, green color and red color. So green color means it is increasing type, so it's that stock has got the higher value in that day. Red color means that stock has got a lower value in that day. That means the stock value gets reduced for that particular day, for that particular stock. So that is the meaning of these two candles. Okay, so we are now we'll discuss how to use uh, different Python libraries for drawing this chart. So we'll discuss one by one. First of all, we'll require some libraries like NumPy, then Pandas, Matplotlib. So these are the basic libraries that we are going to use in this program. Apart from this, we will require the Pandas data reader for getting your data in a proper format. Then we are going to use datetime function also. So datetime, and after that we'll use one library which is MPL finance. So for drawing the candlestick chart, you'll require MPL underscore finance. So I'm going to show how you can install these packages in your program so that you can use that. So for that you have to go to your, you have to open your CMD, and in that you have to just type whatever libraries you are going to install. So first of all, you have to import, sorry, here you have to mention pip underscore pip space install space and then the name of the library. So here first library will require is pandas. So you just type pandas and then press enter. So once you press enter, so this library will get installed. So it is already installed in my PC, so I'm not going to do this step. The next step is you have to just use pandas data reader and press enter so that this library will get installed. Then matplotlib, so you have to install this for generating the plots. Then mpl dash finance, and at last you will require numpy. So you have to install these libraries first by going into the command prompt. Once you install all these libraries which are required for this, you have to close this command prompt and then open your PyCharm, and you can uh, create a new project by clicking on the file, new project I have created already, and then in that you can create one file, Python file, give it a name. So I have given the name chart candlestick 2, and here you start writing your code. Since we are using the dates, because we want to analyze the date wise, or uh, from what year we have to start and at what end we have to end, at what date we have to end. So date wise we are analyzing the chart, that's why you'll require this package. So that's why first command you have to use import date time as dt. Next I'm going to use pandas. So here I will write pandas underscore data reader as web. Then we'll use matplotlib. So import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. After that we require import matplotlib dot dates as mdates, and then we'll use mpl finance. So mpl underscore finance, and from that we will import candlestick underscore. Now in this there are multiple options. Okay, so here I'm going to use candlestick OHLC. OHLC. Okay, so OHLC. OHLC means open, high, low, and close. So in this sequence, I will get the plot. So that's why I'm using the OHLC. After that, I will create one variable start date. Suppose I want to analyze the stock of the company from this date. So using dot dt dot. So here I'm using date time dt dot date time, and let's say my starting date is I want to analyze the stock from 1st January 2020, and end date till now. So I can use dt dot date time dot now function, so it will give the result till today. And then I will load my data. So how to load the data? Here you have to use data reader. So since I use the web for that data reader, so I will use here web dot data reader and then I will mention the name of the company. So for that you have to use the proper word for that company. So since we are using different companies for the stock analysis, we can use their respective word, keyword we can say. So for example, I want to analyze the stock of the Facebook, so I have to use, I can't write here Facebook directly, so there are some words. So for this I'm using Yahoo Finance. I'll just show you how to use that. So you have to go to this website, and then you have to search for the companies that you want to analyze the stock. So here I'm just using Facebook, just mentioning the Facebook name here, so it shows me the symbol, so FB for this company. So I need to mention that symbol here, so FB. Then the second parameter is the API. Now here I'm using Yahoo API. There are multiple APIs, you can use different API but for generally for stock data, uh, s- it is stored in this particular API, that's why I'm using Yahoo API for this. And then next parameter is start date, and the last parameter is end date. So I want to analyze the data of Facebook from 2020 January 2022 till now. So from start date to end date. And now you can see by plotting the respective data how it looks. So just I will use print data, and I will run this. So here I will select this. So it has shown the values from 2021. So these are the data we obtained. Okay, so using the print function we can print the data. So I'm using here Candlestick 2 since our program is Candlestick 2. Okay, so here it has given the data of high, low. There are multiple other columns also like volume, close. Okay, so we don't require that. Instead of printing all the data, we can just mention here data dot columns like this, and then we can run this. So that it will just give the name of the columns instead of giving the data, complete data. Okay, now after printing this, we want, we don't want all the columns to get printed, we want only particular columns. So I'll just show the particular columns only, and we want that columns to remain in our data. So for that I will use data is equal to data, and I want the sequence open, then high, low, and close. So in that sequence, since I am using here OHLC, that means open, high, low, and close. So the same sequence I mentioned here like this. Now the problem is that we need to update the index also, because here the date is coming. If you can see in the previously run the program, when we run the program, using data dot columns, you see that the date column is coming as an index column, but we don't want that. We want date to come as a separate column, not as an index columns. So to do that, we have to reset the index. Okay, so for that I will write data is equal to data dot reset underscore index, like this, so that your index will get reset. And now we want our date column to get changed to number, because if you observe, your date is in form of date format, like year, month and date. But we don't want that. We want that date to get converted into number format for the plotting purpose and for the manipulation purpose. Because for manipulation purpose, we should not consider date in the date format. It should get converted into number so that we can manipulate it. So for that, you have to convert that into number format. So for that, you have to use data, then the name of the column date dot, you have to use map function. So map mdates dot date to num. So using date to num, you can convert your date into the num format. And at last, we will just print data dot head. So head will generate the first 5 entries in your data. Now I'll run this code. So if you can observe here, your date column gets separated now. It is not an index column, it is separate column, and it is not in date format. It get converted into a num format, right? So this is what we want. And then it is showing in the sequence open, high, low and close. Okay, after that we need to plot it. Okay, we need to plot it in form of the candlestick pattern. So for that we need a subplot and we need an axis. So I'll just create one variable axis for the axis, and I will use plt dot subplot, plt dot subplot. So subplot is actually a parameter, one of the parameter for candlestick chart. So we have to give that as a parameter to candlestick function. And here we have created this using matplotlib. So plt.subplot, and we have assigned it to one variable axs. Then we will create a grid pattern using dot grid. So axis dot grid, so that it will look good in the on the chart, and that grid we will active using true. Then we want that grid to appear below our chart. So our chart will look on the front, and that grid should go behind that pattern. So it should appear behind that pattern, whatever pattern we are getting, whatever analysis we are getting. So that grid structure should get behind of that pattern, not on the front side. So for that we need to use set axis below. So axis dot set underscore axis below. So it will set your axis below your chart. Okay, so just you have to mention here true. Then we'll give some title to this. So using set title, you can generate the title. So I'll just give the title as FB share price, and I'll give some color to it, to the title. Let's take a white color. Then we'll set one more color, which is a face color. Face color is nothing but the color of your that background of your chart. So I'll just use the same variable a axis dot set underscore face color. The color I'm selecting is black. Then we'll use dot tick underscore params for selecting the colors of your axes. So I will just use here axis is equal to x comma color. So I'll just give here color white, and for the y axis again the white color. Now we want the date back. Okay, so we have already converted our date into num format for the manipulation purpose, but we want to show dates as it is, like a date, not a number on your plot. So for that we have to use dot x axis. So a axis dot x axis underscore date function. So this will convert your values into date again to show on your plot. And finally you have to use candlestick 2 underscore ohls, and here you have to pass axis as a first parameter, then data dot values, the values of your data. You can give some width. I'll give 0.6. You can give the width from 0.5 to 1 or 0 to 1, and then the last parameter color up. So for up stick you'll give the color G. So green color for up stick generally we use, and then using plt dot show you can draw that chart. One more thing is left. So just you have to, you can give the color to your axes, the background color to your axes. So you can apply axis dot figure dot set. So background color to your whatever written x-axis y-axis on the background color of that axis you can set using dot figure dot set, and then using face color. Here you can mention the color in hexadecimal form also. So I will just use that using hash, and then the value, some value we have to mention there. So it is not a black value, but it is blackish type of value. Now I'll run this code. So it has shown some error. So we'll check for this. So here we have to mention colors. So instead of candlestick 2, I'll mention candlestick underscore OHLC. Yes, now it has generated the candlestick chart for Facebook share price from 1st January 2020 till now. You can see here it has shown the dates and the price value, share price value. You can observe by zooming in for that particular date, for that particular duration. So this is how we have created this beautiful candlestick chart pattern using Python programming. Quickly I will revise. So we have used certain libraries like pandas, matplotlib, numpy, and we are using this candlestick underscore ohlc. So we can change it to olhc also, but I am using this ohlc, that means open, high, low and close sequence. And then the same you have to mention here, open, high, close and open, high, low and close. And at last you have to plot it with the proper, using the proper color. So I'm giving the black color as a background color. So since you can see here, this is a background color, black color. This is because here I have mentioned it black. And the face color, so this hexadecimal form I given here. So this is your face color. So this is nothing but that 1 2 hash 1 2 1 2 1 2. And then you're giving x-axis name, y-axis, and you have given the white color for that. So that is appeared here. So these are the dates and price, and we have used for the color up the green color, and we have given the width 0.6. So what we did, we have first imported the candlestick underscore ohlc. Then we have taken two dates, start date, end date. Then we have used data reader, web.data reader. We have loaded our data. The company which we want to analyze, that you have to use here. That symbol you have to use here for the company symbol. The particular name, we can say the keyword for that particular company that you can access using different websites. So here I'm using Yahoo Finance, and the API which I'm using is Yahoo. And then you have to mention start date, end date. Then you can analyze your data using by plotting the columns of the data, and that should be in the form of the whatever function you are using here. So I'm using ohlc form. So same thing, same way you have to mention here. Then we don't want date as a index, so that's why we need to reset the index. So you can reset it using dot reset underscore index. You need to convert your date into numerical form for the processing purpose. So that's why I'm using map function, and inside that I'm using date to num conversion. And at last, for plotting purpose, we need to convert it back into a date form. So using x-axis underscore date, we can convert the date which is in numerical form into a date form, so that it can be visualized on your chart. So this is how we can plot the candlestick chart using a Python programming. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel. I will be uploading more videos on more charts for stock analysis in further lecture series. Thank you.